Hey everyone, Pete here with the River Kings, and today we're talking about how to be a better kayaker. And more specifically in today's episode, we're going to talk about the 4 P's of my progression philosophy. We're also going to introduce some new faces, and I've got a new segment for you called the Beater Boater Breakdown.
Beater Boater Breakdown.
I recently paddled with some folks, and a guy had a not his best moment, and he was really curious as to why that happened and how he could have avoided it. So I happened to catch it on video, so I figured we'd go over it. And remember, the point of this is not to highlight someone's bad moment, but so that you could see what happened on film, understand why it happened, and fix the issue so that it stops happening in the future, or at least so that it stops happening as often. So we're out here today on the Lower Haw at 1200 CFS, which is a pretty low, kind of relaxed flow, but still enough flow to practice some surfing, some moves. There's just enough push to ensure that you have to do things right, or the river will let you know. And that's where we come into the 4 P's of kayak progression, and we're going to start with the first one I like to think about is being positive. And I know it sounds a little cliche, but if you come to the river with a negative attitude, or I can't do that, or I'll never get my roll, or that's too much for me, it's going to show up in how you paddle. But if you come with a positive outlook that you can get that roll, you can make the move, you will be able to do that waterfall or surf that wave, or whatever it is you're doing in kayaking, it's going to make a big difference in the success you find in trying to do whatever it is you're doing in kayaking. Never tell yourself that you can't do it. Never let that thought creep in that you'll never get it. Your mental game is probably the biggest hindrance to improvement in kayaking, especially with something like the roll.
Beater Boater Breakdown.
Straighten out, Bill. Oh boy. Oh no.
So Bill is coming down Gabriel's Bend, and he's pushed over here to the left side of the channel. A lot of things had happened up to this point, but this is the moment of failure that he'll remember in his mind. He washed into a rock sideways, and there's a simple solution for this. You always lean into the rock and away from the current. That way water can rush under your boat and not grab your upstream edge and window shade you. As he hit the rock, he was not leaning downstream or into the rock. He was really almost neutral. So he smashed into the rock without edging downstream, without leaning his body, and he's kind of ridden up on the rock here, and everything at this point is still okay. However, the current is not waiting on Bill to figure this out. It's already loading up on that left side, and it's simply going to grab his upstream side and push it underwater. And so Bill's going to flip to his left as his boat gets pushed out from underneath him. As he slides off the back of the rock here, you'll see the water engage his boat, and he's got that left edge now, and he's going down. He can still fix this with the brace, but he doesn't. And now he is underwater. And this is where the real trouble started for Bill. I noticed he was having a little trouble getting out of his boat, and I said, hey, he needs to come out. We need to get someone over there, maybe pull that skirt. But then he does pop out, and he's visibly shaken, And if you saw he tried to stand up while in current, that's a good way to get a foot entrapment. Just go ahead and swim that out and let your butt take a beating on some rocks, but don't put those feet down to the river bottom while you're in current. Just an easy way to snag a foot and get yourself into some real trouble. Now Bill is kind of on this eddy line here, and he just needs to swim to the river right a few feet, and he'll be relatively safe within this eddy, but he's starting to wash by. And just below us is Moose Jaw Falls, which is not a place that a swimmer wants to go through. And we kind of need to get him into this eddy to collect. We'll worry about his boat in a little bit, but he's not really aware of how quickly he needs to swim to the right. A little bit of swimming early on can save a lot of work later. And so I just need him to take a few strokes into this eddy. Bob comes by with his boat and offers the stern of his boat. He's just kind of unaware and not helping himself. So in a swim situation, a swimmer really, really needs to understand that they're going to be the primary means of getting themselves out of the river. Just pretend like it's up to you and no one else is going to help you. But really also listen to those around you who maybe aren't recovering from being underwater or out of breath or being banged up. Listen to the instructions and try to follow them. They're trying to keep you out of trouble.
Swim right, Bill. Swim right. Bill, swim right hard. Bill, swim right.
Grab my scarf. My boat.
You're in there now. You all right?
I couldn't find the...
I noticed you're having a little trouble.
What Bill's talking about is he was unable to find his pull tab for the spray skirt, and he actually did not pull it, but I think he kicked his way out of it. And so that's the final piece of the puzzle that gave Bill his gnarly experience here in Gabriel's Bend. When you start out kayaking, we all know that it takes a little bit to get your roll down, and some people get that sooner than others. But if you know there's a likely possibility that you're going to need to swim if you flip that kayak, then it's a good idea that you spend a considerable amount of time making sure that there's no issues getting out of that boat when you need to get out of the boat. Practice it 50 times, practice it 100 times. Make sure you know to grab that pull tab and then exit your boat. Way to hang in there, Bill. I know that wasn't the most pleasurable experience. Rest assured that every kayaker on the planet has started in the same place and knows exactly how you feel. Big shout out to Bill for being the first in the new series of Beater Boater Breakdown. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think about the segment, if you think it helps understand what was going on, and if you got any value out of that. And if you ever see Bill on the river, give him a big thank you.
You got it? Look at him go!
So after getting Bill sorted out, we run over to the surf wave at the bottom of Gabriel's Bend to have a little fun. And here Chris Chandler and I were surfing up the wave. And that brings me to the second P, being proactive. And Chris Chandler is really coming along here lately. And one of the things I attribute that mostly to is his willingness to push himself on the river. And if you want to see progress in your kayaking, you're gonna have to be proactive about it.
All right, folks, we got the crew ready. Got Steve and Anthony and Jerry. I get him every time. Adam, Chris, Alan, Brooks and Kelly, and the main man, Tucker, for his PFD of the Lower Haw. You feeling good?
Yeah.
You excited? You scared?
Maybe.
A little bit? Well, that's good. But you're gonna crush it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
We dropped in for a lower run. We actually kind of thought about bombing it and getting 2 laps in. But what transpired was a day of improvement amongst the paddlers. And there's a little wave you'll see just below the first rapid, which is Lunch Stop Rapid. There's a little hole or wave there that comes in at certain water levels, and it's my new favorite kind of instructional spot on the whole river, with this kind of falling into the hole, kind of spinning, kind of pivoting on the hole itself, and then carving your way out of it. And it really just became something we did for about an hour and a half. And there's a lot going on there, and you got to decide you want to get in that hole sideways, which kind of starts breaking some of the rules of kayaking, but it turned into a great place to really ramp up some skills for some of the folks.
Yeah, man. You okay? There's some fun to be had in here. Easy peasy. Alan, what you doing, bud? How's that edge? Look, it's wanting to squirt. You gotta let it ride. You just want to get in there? Yeah. It's a little bit squirrely.
At first I wasn't sure what we could do with this feature to make the most of it, but it's a great little feature because it's got some confused water. It's got a little hole with a trough. It's got a rock backing it up. It's got a rock you can go over. You can get in the weird boil behind the rock where Alan is about right now. But it wasn't until I found this little pivot move that really let me know how I wanted to use this feature. So basically the move is to float up to the hole with river right angle with your boat, fall into the trough with the front half of your boat and your stern sweeping down river, but stay in the hole and use that spin momentum to carve right back out of the hole to river left. Or if you're looking upstream, out of the right side of the hole. Let's see if I can do it here. You'll notice Alan is swimming, and that's because he missed a couple rolls, went over the hole upside down. That's going to be part of it when you're learning new things. You're going to not do it right every time. There's a little pivot turn, and then you just carve right back out of the hole under control. So you're going to get in a hole, you're going to get out of a hole, you're learning how to maintain momentum, you're learning how to swing that boat around and using the current to do that.
You want that, don't you? Do it! It's not that bad.
What's your positioning and angling on it?
Always downstream of that hole. Everything that you do, upstream edge up. Paddle! Oh! Edge it, edge it. Oh no! Yeah! Woo! Yeah, get in there and get sideways. There you go. There you go. On the lip, higher. He's coming in below it. There it is. Nice. Yeah, Adam. Uh-oh. He's in trouble, folks. He's in trouble.
Now, Adam's kind of halfway stuck in this little bitty hole. But part of what we're doing is learning hole escape skills. We're learning how to get in something in a precise way, how to carve to the exit out of a hole. You can't just get out of a hole everywhere. A lot of times you'll have to make your way to one side of the hole or the other to get your escape. All this is on a small scale, all of that wrapped up into one move. And what you'll see here, and it's not to call anyone out, but you'll see the same few people getting in the hole over and over and over again, having fun. And you see other people watching and not partaking quite as much. And that's what I mean about being proactive. You'll get less out of this run by sitting there watching than those who are going to get in it a dozen, 2 dozen, 50 times in the space of an hour and a half. You're really dialing in some specific skills that are going to start building on themselves and carrying into your paddling all over the river.
It's just get in the meat there. You going for it, Steve? Missed it. You gonna try it, Alan? Get back on that horse.
What am I supposed to try?
We're falling into the hole, pivot in the hole, and come out river left again.
Okay.
So you fall into it high. Let your bow get stuck in the deepest part of that hole. Your stern will wash. Left sweep stroke. Transition to your right edge and carve out river left. If you hit it right, it feels really good. It doesn't want to keep you. You got to work. You just don't want to be on the other side, the river right side of the hole, facing river right. Yeah, yep. Carve right. Yes, almost. You're good. Give it one more. Oh, yeah. You almost had it. You got it. Aggressive. Aggressive. Carve right. Yes. Keep right. Keep the right. Oh, yeah. Get close. Nice. Yes, sir!
And here you see little Tucker crushing the move. He just has to clean it up a little bit, but it was a really good pivot to get in the hole facing the right direction. He just didn't quite carve out, but I'm sure he'll get it in the next few tries. He's also looking for his first combat roll, and he's a phenomenal roller in a pool. He can do all kind of stuff. He can hand roll left, right. He can do it all, but he hasn't put it together on the river yet. Well, guess what? He's getting in that hole anyway, with the expectation that if he does flip, he's going to get a combat roll today, and that's what I'm talking about. No fear.
Lean left, paddle out. Nice! Paddle slap! You are the man! Come on, roll that thing. Yes, sir! Tucker! I got it on camera!
What a thing of beauty, folks, and I gotta show it to you one more time. After getting trashed in the hole, he quickly sets up and then patiently waits till he's out of the hole and then executes a flawless roll. You can see the boat come up first and then his bright helmet come up last. He's doing it right. The head should be the last thing out of the water. Even when you think you need to be in a hurry, you better slow down and do it right. Do it like Tucker does it.
Little T! He's a capital T today. Capital Tucker with his first combat roll. How'd it feel?
Good.
Tell me what was going through your mind when you got in that hole sideways and you knew it was going bad. What were you thinking?
So when I started to, I got in facing out towards this rock behind us, and then I just kind of leaned in. Yep. But I thought it would help me maybe a little bit.
And it didn't.
And then it just caught my edge, and then just.
Was your nose plug on the whole time?
Yeah.
Nice. You did a good job, brother.
And
I got it on film.
And guess what?
What?
I waited for a second or two, and I could feel all the rushing water, so I waited until it was a little calmer.
Perfect. That's how you do it, folks. Woo! That was it. Get in there. I'm out. Further right. Further right. Way further right, like 5 feet. Woo! Come on, Alan. Higher. Yes, that's better. Pivot stroke. Yes, keep going. Oh, yeah! Look at that. That's not hard.
And this brings me to the third P. You have to be persistent. You can't try it once. You can't try it twice. You can't, maybe I'm gonna get a combat roll at some point, and you kind of maybe go to 2 or 3, 4 roll sessions and kind of start making some progress. Then winter comes, and then you don't do it. Or maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you don't try until it's winter time, and then at the roll sessions at the pool, I'm gonna get that roll. Or maybe you do this move once or twice and then figure I'll get it next time. That's really not gonna pay dividends. What is that you're gonna get in there and try it until you get it right. Doesn't matter if it takes you 4 tries. You know, if some people it takes months to get their roll, so it takes months. That's just how it's gonna be. Don't give up on it. Keep trying, keep progressing, keep putting yourself in that position to get out there and improve. Watching from the bank is not an improvement. It's not gonna help you. You can talk yourself out of nearly everything. You can come up with a million excuses on the water to not put yourself in a position where you feel uncomfortable. I'm telling you, if you want to improve, if you want to progress your paddling, you're going to have to feel uncomfortable. Each time out on the river, you should try to do something that you're not good at until you're at least better at it that day.
Everything you've ever done to avoid a hole, we're reversing it now. Need to be further right. Keep right, keep right, keep right. Almost had it. You were so close. Oh yeah, that's definitely enough. Oh no! Woo! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Nailed it! Yep, yep, yep! Yes! Thing of beauty! Make you go where you want to go. Further right. Yes! That's a good one. Oh, he didn't do his bow fry. Yeah. Lost it.
Tucker.
Nailed it! Almost! You! Yeah, Donnie! Yeah! Eat it up, Tucker! Punch it, yes! Come on! It's not fast enough. Phew! Folks, I'm with the main man, Anthony Brown, in his Fluid Spice, which he thinks is the best boat on the planet. We may trade boats up here in just a little while, because I've never been in a Spice, and he's never been in a Brat. I just got to get a plan together for how I can get it back from him, because he's probably not going to try to give it back up. Also, Alan and Bonnie, or Bonnie and Alan from B&A Adventures. How you feeling today, Bonnie?
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Let's do it.
Donnie Fleming. And in the water, we got Mitch Engel. Let's go have some fun. Turn around and catch the one behind you. Nice. Now give us a minute to look at the wood situation.
Okay.
And then you can turn all of this into a big eddy fest, like that eddy right there against the wood.
Yeah, right side, yeah.
You gotta surf that wave.
Got to?
Yes.
How can I get into it?
Turn around backwards and paddle against the current.
Okay.
Aim for that fluff, and it should catch you and you'll be surfing. Paddle hard. Oh, so close.
Dragonfly has spoken.
There it goes, there it goes. Come here, little buddy.
Keep playing with the snake.
No, don't get ideas.
Good idea. You got him on video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. He knows he's on video.
Trying to get back to Bonnie. Hey, what are you thinking?
You come here with that snake and I will never paddle again.
All right, buddy, hang tight. Oh, fine. That's really good, Bonnie.
Yeah, nice roll.
All right, so what we're looking at here is a second swim by Bonnie, who's trying to recover her boat on this little rock island. And we're not laughing at her, we're laughing with her, but she's not laughing yet. But she's doing a really good job of filling the boat up, dumping the boat out of water.
Yeah, filling it up. Yeah, you're right.
And Anthony over there has gotten into the brat for the first time, and I think he likes it.
Kind of nice.
I'm rocking the Fluid Spice here. Never been in one actually, so it's kind of neat. But I can't wait to see what Anthony does in some rapids with the brat.
There you go. Lift it up.
I think we're gonna have a convert. Get in here. You're turning way too soon. Don't turn upstream into the eddy.
Okay.
You're coming in the eddy backwards.
Yeah.
You need to come in like woo!
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just sitting in a hole. Come in straight, then turn around.
Okay.
Now turn around and get where Alan's at. Get real close to that rock. Right up in here. There, now you're using the boat.
And this brings us to the fourth and final P, and what I believe to be the most important ingredient to finding rapid and consistent progress in your paddling. And that's your perspective. Understandably, most paddlers come into the sport in a very defensive mindset, with a view of the river as a lot of obstacles to avoid so they can make it safely and upright down the river from start to finish. And this is a conversation I've had on the last several trips with several different boaters of varying skill sets. And the best way I could describe it was that at the beginning of your paddling career, you end up hitting a bunch of rocks you can't avoid and then flipping. And then as you get a little better, you understand how to avoid the rocks and how to avoid the holes and other things that look scary. And then you find yourself in a place where you're able to navigate your boat the most direct route between A and B in big open water. And that will afford you a pretty good level of success in Class 2 and moving into Class 3. But the problem is when you move up into big water Class 3, and especially when you get into some technical water, when you get up into 4s and especially Class 5, you're not able to do this. In fact, all the features of a river that you've been avoiding are to be used by the paddler as tools to navigate the river. The holes you've been avoiding, you may have to use the hole to ferry across the river on a must-make ferry. The biggest, scariest part of the rapid is oftentimes the line you need to take in harder water. I recently told Evan Fields and Hunter White on our trip down the Nantahala that all those rocks, all those flumes of water, rooster tails, holes, everything is potential. Everything is a possibility. There's energy there. There's some way for you to use that to your advantage. And it's up to us as the paddler to figure that out, harness that power, and use it for our advantage. And the adage that I was giving him is you can either fight it or you can use it. And that's a hard thing for a paddler to change, from looking at something that looks big, powerful, and scary, something they maybe not totally understand, and wanting to avoid it. We need to change your perspective of what those things are. Those are not things to be avoided necessarily. A lot of those features need to be used. And for a paddler to progress to the level where he can identify and use the features to his advantage on a river, he has to start playing in the river. He has to start seeing all those things for what they are at the low end level. You don't get in your first big must-make move on Class 5. You do it in Class 2 or Class 3, where the consequences are very low. You may flip, but you still got to try it.
Move it! Yes! Drive into it, boof over the shoulder.
and we find ourselves at our little whoop-de-doop wave. I'm not sure this thing has a name, but we should give it one. If it does have a name, please let me know in the comments of the video. And here the water is pumping at 3,800 CFS, almost 4,000. So there's a lot more power and fluff to this hole, and there's a lot more to work out for the paddler. The upside to being in bigger, more dynamic water is that with proper technique and good boat control, the moves happen a lot faster and they almost happen for you. This goes from catching eddies to doing this little move we're doing here today. You got to remember that the people that design these boats are way better at boating than you are, and they designed these boats to get performance out of them in a way that you may never even imagine. It's up to us to unlock the performance of the boat and unlock the potential of the river. And that's going to be a perspective. Your boat can handle this. The river's giving you the energy. Let's get in there and harness all that and make it happen.
Perfect. Yep. Nailed it! So you did okay, but you were not sure, like you floated in sideways.
Yeah.
So this time, just start right here and drive like a downstream ferry across to get there. When you got there, everything went right.
Okay.
But you just floated in like just completely sideways. Have a little forward momentum.
Okay.
And then when your stern washes, that momentum is going to turn into the pivot.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. You went way high to fall into it. Don't need to go that high. Just kind of come in at a more direct angle. But you still want to land where you landed.
Gotcha.
That looked a lot better. Oh, didn't get it. Yes, sir. Let the water turn you. Yep. Left stroke. Oh, stop that backstroke. Yeah! Woo! Nice!
That was nice.
I love to smile when he hits it right.
It was like you. Yeah, that was good. Something.
You just got to trust it every time.
Right.
You can fight it or use it. You got it. Almost. Yes! Rock star! Oh yeah! Now do your left stroke when you hit the bottom of the hole. Yeah! Nice. Oh, he's in a weird spot. There you go. Get in there.
Yeah!
Oh, so close. Yeah, Alan! You got it, Alan! I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Yeah! Found it. Good stuff. Bonnie, go right. Let's go right. Paddle up, paddle. Paddle.
And in a big way, being positive, being proactive about putting yourself in situations where you can learn, being persistent, doing it over and over and over, all three of those are going to give you the ability to change that perspective. And I guarantee you'll find progress, you'll find success, and you'll have more fun kayaking. But as a bonus, I'm going to give you the one P that will never work in your favor, and that's patience. Your job as someone trying to progress in the sport of whitewater kayaking is not to be patient with yourself. Persistent, yes. Proactive, yes. But not patient. Patience is going to be the crutch you lean on to not pursue your progress like you should. Don't accept that it's not happening. I'm not saying get frustrated and quit. I'm not saying give up. I'm just saying don't be patient. That's not your job. That's the job of your instructor. That's the job of your friends as they're collecting your boat. Don't be patient. Pursue it.